If you're someone who is trying to live a healthy and confident lifestyle, but you don't want to completely cut out foods that are delicious to you to do it, then this video is for you. When we are managing our weight, it can feel like we have to give up all fun foods, or treat foods as I like to call them, in order to make any progress on our goals. But guess what? You don't have to give them up. Stick around until the end of this video because I am going to teach you the very thing I teach all of my one-on-one clients: how to choose the absolute best treats for fat loss. It's probably not what you think it is. Hey friends, my name is Christina and I'm a nutrition coach. On this channel, we talk about lean eating skills, behavior change, and developing a positive body image, all while keeping lots of fun in our lives. Let's treat yourself. So the first thing I want to get on the same page about is what counts as a treat. For simplicity's sake, we are talking about low nutrition foods. Think sweets, desserts, fried foods, and alcohol. Can you think of items in these categories that you partake in? I talk to a lot of clients who think that they should never eat their favorite foods like candy bars and ice cream or corn chips. But I'm here to tell you that those things are not going to get in the way of your goals. In fact, many people who come in with the perception that these foods are bad or forbidden or that they shouldn't be eating them at all is more likely the thing that's going to get in the way of your goals. If you're familiar with restrictive ways of eating, it can actually perpetuate this rebelliousness and desire to want them even more, giving them this forbidden fruit effect, which is in fact a real term that was coined in the 1970s by psychologists as the human tendency to want something more if it's off limits or challenging to get. Have you ever had this perception of certain highly palatable foods? One of my favorite conversations that I get to have with clients who really struggle with this perception is that they can still have treats and reach their goals. So how do I help them choose the very best ones for fat loss? The first thing is to plan on eating some treats and things you love, especially if you're on some kind of fat loss plan. Like, make sure you're including them from the very beginning. Even if you're trying to have the fastest fat loss results, I still recommend this because when we are trying to white knuckle our way through a program with zero pleasure, it can really set us up for challenges down the road. Like when we treat the whole weekend as a cheat day. Ever heard of that? It's more difficult for people to see long-term success in keeping weight off if people don't include any foods for enjoyment, because that is when we tend to overeat these things on those said cheat days. So what is the secret to helping my clients lose weight while keeping plenty of fun foods in their lives? How do we know which ones to eat? You probably thought I was gonna come on here and say specific products to buy or cottage cheese health food high protein desserts with protein powder, but like many things in life, it's much more nuanced than that. By the way, I have tried the cottage cheese edible cookie dough and I actually thought it was pretty tasty. But anyway, here is how you are going to determine what your best treats are for you. I first want you to think about your absolute favorite tasty treats that you really enjoy eating. If you think back to treats that you've had in life, you can probably recall that many treats run on a spectrum. You've probably had some that are amazing and some that are not so amazing. As I said before, this is nuanced and completely a personal and subjective thing. Personally, I love freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, brownies, ice cream, and steak fajita nachos. But store-bought cookies, most alcohol, and sour candies are just okay and I can live without them. What about for you? Think back to the last few days and think of ones that were just okay versus those treats that were amazingly incredible. When we eliminate those experiences of just okay treats, we are not decreasing our enjoyment a great deal and we can save on those excess calories. What we are doing here is learning to determine if these treats are worth it or not, because you're worth only having the most enjoyable, amazing treats. If you were to make a list, and I encourage you to do that as you think through this, what are some treats that will make your worth it list when you consider highest possible enjoyment? I encourage you to write those down and make a plan for the next time you're faced with a choice to have something that doesn't make your list. One of my clients recently shared that she went to a birthday party and there were full spreads of chocolates and desserts and all kinds of goodies, and the food was all in the middle of the table in front of her the whole time. She recalled herself just grazing on these desserts. But one thing she noticed when we were reflecting about this experience was, those chocolates weren't even that good. I was just eating them because they were there and I was feeling bored. This is a great example of using this as an experiment. Sometimes dessert displays look really delicious, but then we start to eat them and the desserts aren't as good as we thought they were going to be. This is where I like to encourage clients to let your first bite be the test. If that first bite isn't amazing, it's not worth it for you to eat any more. So I want you to make that list of about 5 or more things that are absolutely delicious, from sweets, desserts, fried foods, and alcohol. Then I want you to make a second list of 5 or more foods that recently you ate that were not that amazing, and when faced with eating it again, you will start to practice saying no to anything less than worth it. If you're someone who struggles to eat desserts in moderation, you can check out this video here. But one helpful tactic that I recommend whenever you eat the amount you first intended to eat and your mind is telling you to go back to get more, go get seconds, is to notice and ask yourself, are you just trying to extend the pleasure of eating here? The way we think about those temptations and urges is really powerful. So when our mind is suggesting that you really want another one, is to say, what I want is to have a continued pleasurable experience. I don't need to get that from dessert here, because while it might be a high pleasure, it also comes with a cost. For example, eating too much sugar can come with the cost of having a stomachache or a headache, or it comes with the cost of just putting more food in my body than it needs, which often doesn't feel good. So the first serving of my worth it dessert is a very low cost, lots of enjoyment, I'm free to eat this and then savor it, but the second or third serving of dessert, the cost goes up. It maybe doesn't taste as good as the first one. It's moving me more into a territory of more sugar or processed foods than I feel best eating. You might even start to feel that uncomfortable, bloated feeling when you eat too much. It's just not as amazingly enjoyable as that first one. What we are talking about here in terms of, is this worth it, is thinking about the treat experience beyond just the taste of the food. Because when we think about the environment, the situation, or our emotional state, and even sometimes the company involved or not, the experience of treats being worth it or not worth it can change. So how do we determine when a treat experience is worth it? Think about some of these other examples to help get your creative juices flowing. You may love French fries, but maybe not the cold ones your kids didn't eat when you were driving around all day running errands. You also may love ice cream, but not alone in the dark in the middle of the night after a fight with your partner. And it also may be difficult to enjoy eating that dessert being served at your boss's retirement party if your coworker will not shut up about her latest fad diet as she glances over at your plate, ready to make a comment about what you're eating, as if that were any of her business. Think about a few situations, moods, or environments that might make your treat experience more enjoyable. What are some situations like the one I just listed that would make your treat experience not so enjoyable? This is going to help you cultivate your epic treat experience. We will keep plenty of pleasure and pass on those negative and not amazing experiences. If you want to know how I help my clients determine how many of these amazingly enjoyable treat experiences they can have and still reach their goals, check out this video here. If you want to know just how we keep lots of fun in life in addition to edible treats, check out this video here. So there you have it. This is just what I do with my one-on-one clients to help them determine whether a treat is best for them to reach whatever health goals they have. You don't have to cut out your favorite foods to reach your goals either. I am yet to meet someone who doesn't eat any foods for fun or enjoyment of any kind. Many of the people I talk to who try to eat zero treats end up sporadically overeating lots and lots of them. We can help support ourselves with these reflections in this video. I hope you found this video helpful, and I would love to know what your favorite worth it treats are. You can leave a comment below, and if you need any extra support, feel free to shoot me an email listed in the description below. If you want more eating skills videos just like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.